Executive David Crowley, and glad to be joined by other elected officials and community members as well. And so I'm really proud to be here with county leaders as well as affordable housing advocates to sign a bill that's going to appropriate $19 million to fund affordable housing developments, foreclosure, rehabilitation projects, and energy assistance projects for residents in need throughout the county. And I want to say thank you to Supervisor Sean Rowland, Ricardo Diaz, as well as the entire ARPA task force for investing in affordable housing. And I also want to say thank you to the Milwaukee County Board for passing this bill, but also to the many housing advocates who all held us accountable in making sure that this important legislation reached my desk for a signature. And so we recognize at Milwaukee County that the foundation of housing is one of the main social determinants of health. And there still remains a large gap as it relates to home ownership for African Americans throughout Milwaukee. And so this is one of the reasons why Milwaukee County is focusing on a new home ownership initiative through our ARPA funds. And so the bill that I'm signing today will leverage $15 million in federal ARPA dollars to increase the supply of affordable housing in Milwaukee County. It would also provide $3 million to rehabilitate tax foreclosed homes in Milwaukee County suburbs as well. And this really builds on the work that we have already done to invest in housing at the county level, ranging from eviction prevention, rental assistance, as well as homeless outreach. And so I want to say thank you as well to our housing administrator, Jim Matthey, for all of his tireless work, and the entire department for what they do in keeping people within their homes and really to help us increase access to home ownership. And so you can hear a house is being worked on right now. And so, this is important because these actions, we're not doing this by ourselves. And so we want to say thank you because we have great partnerships with the city of Milwaukee that have helped Milwaukee County be recognized as having having the lowest unsheltered homeless population in the country. And since 2015, Milwaukee County has seen a 92% reduction in unsheltered homelessness. This is something that we want to continue to build upon. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for all of your support, your collaboration, and your dedication to helping us stay on this path to achieve both race and health equity. And so with that being said, I want to invite one of my counterparts from the Milwaukee County Board who's been doing excellent work, not only for his district, but for everyone countywide, particularly on the ARPA task force, and that is Supervisor Sean Rowland. Sean?
Thank you, David Crowley, for all of your leadership on this topic and others. You're doing a great job, so thank you for all your leadership. Thank you, Ricardo, for being here and for all your work you've done on the ARPA task force. Mayor McBride, and thank you so much for being here and for all of your advocacy for affordable housing. Good morning, everyone. I am Sean Rowland. I am a Milwaukee County Board Supervisor representing most of Wauwatosa and a little bit of the Washington Heights neighborhood in Milwaukee. This is a great day. We are announcing $15 million for affordable housing, $3 million for foreclosure rehabilitation, and $1 million for energy assistance for people in need. We know that housing is health care. We know that home ownership helps people build wealth. We know that stable housing helps prevent educational outcomes. When you have an affordable home, it makes every part of life more affordable and easier to accomplish. When you're spending less of your annual or monthly income on rent or housing, you can afford to do all the other things, tutoring, school, just other things that come up. It just makes every part of life easier to accomplish. And that's why I'm so excited about this affordable housing announcement today and these foreclosure rehabilitation dollars specifically. Behind us, you'll see a home that was owned by a gentleman who had no heirs, and he passed away several years ago, and for several years this house has sat vacant and it has deteriorated, and neighbors have been reaching out to my predecessor and now me saying, Sean, what's going on with this house? How do we get somebody else in this house? We want this to be a fresh, new house where people are living here. It's part of a neighborhood and not just collecting dust. So this is part of an exciting announcement today. This house may be eligible, and other houses that are like it will be eligible for those foreclosure rehabilitation dollars. So when Milwaukee County takes over a property, we'll be able to go in, fix it up a little bit, and then turn it around and hopefully sell it for an affordable price so a young family or somebody else can buy a property affordably in a community like Wauwatosa and across the suburbs and across Milwaukee County. That's why this is so transformative. You can see behind us, it would be so much better if this house was just fixed up a little. That's what today's announcement is all about. So I really, again, appreciate all the collaboration we've done here to bring stuff like this to life. And without further ado, I will introduce another champion of affordable housing, Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride.
Thank you, Sean. Good morning, everyone. I want to compliment Milwaukee County on this initiative. I can tell you without reservation that under the leadership of County Executive Crowley, the partnership between Milwaukee County suburbs and the county has never been stronger. We have, in a short time, his short time as County Executive and my short time as Mayor, we have collaborated on a number of projects. We're going to be at a meeting this afternoon of mayors and village presidents working on other topics. But this is very powerful. Wauwatosa, as you can see, is not just a city of wealthy homes, but occasionally has a problem of upkeep. It certainly has a problem of affordability. Every community in the country is facing this problem. Every public official is aware that we have a crisis of affordability, not just for people in poverty-stricken neighborhoods, but across the population. This is extremely important for us to partner with the county. In a minute, you'll hear from a member of our Tosa Housing Coalition. We have a partnership of our Senior Commission, our Disabilities Commission, our Equity and Inclusion Commission, and community groups that are working on ways to partner with the City of Wauwatosa as we explore ways to try to create affordability, not just for Wauwatosa residents, but for people we want to welcome to Wauwatosa. Regardless of race, creed, or color, we want to be a welcoming community. We applaud the county again for helping us in that. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Ann Heidkamp, who is a member of that coalition I talked about. So thank you to the county, and thank you to all of you for being here today.
Thank you. As the mayor mentioned, I'm Ann Heitkamp, a representative of the Wauwatosa Joint Housing Coalition. He mentioned that we're made up of people from the Senior Commission, the Equity and Inclusion Commission, the Commission for Citizens with Disabilities, and the Tosa Together Community Group. And we have been working together for the last year and a half to advocate for affordable housing and accessible housing in the city of Wauwatosa that's open to everybody. Wauwatosa has historically been a community of a widespread of housing options at many price points, and that's becoming less and less true. So unless we intervene now, we're going to become a higher and higher priced community with possible gentrification and other things to keep us as city and county communities divided. And we don't want to see that happen. We have residents who need the help that this bill will provide, and we have people who live and work in Wauwatosa who need the help for affordable housing. We know from working with the city and the county over the city and developers over the last year and a half that a primary reason we haven't been able to do more with affordable housing is cost. It's the cost, and you know it's all rising, the cost of the mortgages, the cost of the supplies, the supply chain issues. And we're hoping that with this new county money that we will be able to extend the money that Wauwatosa has available, extend it so that we can have more affordable housing. The need is there. All the research the city has done indicates there's very much a need for affordable housing and maintaining affordable housing in Wauwatosa. So we are very thankful to the county executive, the county board, that this ARPA funding will be available, and particularly in the suburbs, because we need to work on extending the openness of the suburbs to everybody and keeping them affordable. Thank you.
All right. Any questions?
Any idea of how many people and how many homes this could impact?
You know, you're going to be asking some real technical questions, and the best person to really answer some of them would be our housing administrator, Jim Matthews. So,
Thank you. So could you repeat the question?
And is there any idea of the scope of how many homes or how many families this could help or impact?
Yeah, that's a good question. So typically the affordable housing developments that we've seen have ranged from anywhere from 24 units to upwards of 100 units. So as far as the $15 million, we're looking at providing gap financing either to bring rents down in market rate deals or to do larger affordable housing multifamily projects. But typically it's been anywhere from 24 to 100 units. And then the $3 million, it depends on what the inventory for Milwaukee County tax foreclosures are in the next couple of years. So it's a little hard to say, but a house like this is typically what we're going to see.
Can you explain what that gap funding will do practically for the developers, et cetera, and what that will mean for the people that are renting or purchasing?
Sure. So as was explained earlier, with supply chain issues and everything else going on, it's harder and harder to do affordable housing, especially in our suburban communities. Cost of land is increasing. Taxes are higher, so those financial gaps are always larger in the suburbs and the city of Milwaukee. So even with tax credit projects, there's a larger financial gap. So these county funds, thanks to the county executive and the county board, will help fill that gap. So if it's a $15 million overall project, and we could come in with $1 million to $2 million to help bring those rents down or make that project affordable, that's the goal of the program.
County Executive, I know you mentioned that a part of this initiative is to increase access to affordable housing for communities of color. Can you talk a little bit about some of those barriers that are often faced in terms of achieving home ownership for Blacks and Hispanics and other communities of color?
absolutely. So, you know, this is just near and dear to me, just in general. You know, growing up, we you know, came up against a lot of different housing and insecurities. And so when you think about having access to affordable housing, I mean, looking at the market rate, trying to buy a home, for many people, is out of their price point, right? And so when you don't have access to the same amount of loans through the banks, or historically you won't get those loans or haven't been getting those loans, you have barriers. But at the end of the day, we have to work with all of our partners. And this is bringing local municipalities, this is bringing contractors to the table to figure out how we increase affordability and access to these homes. And it's not just about having access to these homes within the city of Milwaukee. We want people to have access to our suburban communities as well. We can't concentrate people who need affordable housing only in the city of Milwaukee. We need to make sure that we're spreading the love, but we want to make sure that we continue to build upon our strengths, which is our diversity as a county. And so that's what we want to do. But at the end of the day, you know, we have to continue to talk about housing as an issue. We have to talk about transportation in the midst of that, because I think it's all connected. But we want to eliminate these barriers. And this isn't the end all be all, but this is a step closer to our goal of reaching the type of equity that we want to see across the county.
How many foreclosed properties are you looking at? I mean, how many eligible properties do you have right now, and where do you expect? How many houses are you hoping to target with this?
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you know, but we will have to get you probably in touch with our Department of Administrative Services to find that inventory.
Do you have a goal for how many you want to target with this batch of money for the new
Well, as many as possible. At the end of the day, we want to reach as many as possible. You know, when you think about tax foreclosures, I mean, the fact that they went into tax foreclosure is a bad thing within itself. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that all of these homes are livable homes, and they don't continue to, as we talked about this one, as dilapidated over the years because it hasn't had the proper upkeep. But as many as we can, you know. But at the end of the day, this is just this is not enough when you think about the need related to affordable housing and what we need to do, not only just in Milwaukee County, but across this country.
Got time for one more? One last question.
Funding, what else needs to happen to achieve housing?
It's a lot of this comes down to funding, right? And working again with our municipal partners to make sure that we can identify places, contractors can identify places to create more affordable housing all across Milwaukee County. At the end of the day, our job is to create a bigger table so we can continue to have this conversation about equity and having access to affordable homes. But what's needed is partners and really trying to tackle this issue so we don't continue to see this cycle of affordability continue to hammer at our door.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.